Hey everybody, welcome to the GMG review. We're back with another Warhammer the Horus Heresy Liber Astartes review, looking this time at the 10th Legion, the Iron Hands. The Iron Hands, of course, traditionally a tough, shooty, mechanically inclined, vehicle-heavy, and sort of like playing with their toys sort of a army. And of course, that is backed up yet again by the rules in this book. Now, of course, they are sadly one of the legions to lose its Primarchs very early on. So Ferrus Manus, of course, not actually going to be at the Siege of Terra, although there is some crazy storyline stuff. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but Lucius and Fulgrim do some weird stuff with Ferrus Manus, even after he dies. That's well worth reading about, including like playing chess with him dozens and dozens of times after he's dead. I'll leave you to discover that storyline. It's one of my favorite parts of the Horus Heresy, but man, stuff with Fulgrim just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, especially after he gets snake legs. Anyway, I digress. The Iron Hands, one of the very cool sort of like change over the course of the Heresy chapters, and that's sort of reflected obviously in the toughness that they have coming back from almost the brink of destruction and taking part in, I guess, the Shadow War, the Shadow Crusade, where they're basically taking like a guerrilla war with the Raven Guard and the Salamanders to Horus to try and slow him down on his march to Terra. So let's look at their core rules. Iron Hands, everyone know what this keyword gains the Medusa's Scales. All shooting attacks made against the model with this special rule that do not have the vehicle unit type suffer a -1 to the strength of the attack. So basically, if you're not a vehicle, you're -1 strength. Doesn't work against vehicles, though. Models with special rule and the vehicle unit type instead gain the It Will Not Die 6+ special rule, or if a model with this rule already has a variant of that, it doesn't die, it gets +1. So if you already had It Will Not Die 6+, you get a 5+. So you get your hull points back on your vehicles. Holy moly! Yeah, that's legit. But -1 strength would apply to like dreadnoughts and land speeders because you're not vehicles. That's pretty great. You have the Keys to Hell, which gives you access to all the equipment, and Iron Fathers for your special Legion Consulary, and then Sons of Medusa. A warlord with the special rule can gain the warlord traits of the Iron Hands. You get your enhanced reaction, so once per game you can make this reaction in addition to any other reactions you're eligible to make. The Gorgon's Spite. This advanced reaction may be made once per battle during the opposing player's assault phase, when any enemy player declares a charge targeting a friendly unit under the reactive player's control that is composed entirely of models with the Iron Hand special rule. Once the active player has resolved all charge rolls for that charge that triggers this reaction, whether successful or not, before any models are moved as part of the charge or surge move, the reactive player may make a shooting attack with a unit that has had a charge declared against it, targeting the unit that triggered the reaction, with all weapons making twice the normal number of attacks, but gaining the Gets Hot special rule. A unit that makes a shooting attack as part of the Gorgon Spite reaction may not make attacks indirectly without line of sight, including weapons with the Barrage special rule, or any other weapon or special rule that requires that otherwise ignores line of sight. And models of the vehicle unit type may only fire defensive weapons. Template weapons used as part of a Gorgon Spite reaction use the Wall of Death rule instead of firing normally, and the unit targeting the Gorgon Spite attack may not make cover saves against wounds inflicted by the Gorgon Spite reaction. So basically, double your shots when something tries to charge you. It's like a super duper Overwatch once per game. That could be bunkers. All right, 3 warlord traits. You do get a traitor trait. It was kind of crazy. There's a few Iron Hands that didn't quite go along with the whole thing. These were not the super pure, super ultra mega pure Legion. So from Hell's Heart is your loyalist one. A warlord with this trait and all models in any unit he joins gain Fear 1. And should the warlord be reduced to 0 wounds, the controlling player may choose to inflict D6 automatic hits upon the unit whose attacks cause the final wound, with these hits allocated as per the standard rules. Each hit is resolved using the weapon profile of any one of the warlord's ranged weapons if he lost his last wound to a shooting attack, or using any one of their melee weapons if he lost it using as part of an assault, and all hits resolved using the same profile. In addition, an army's warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction in the opposing player's assault phase as long as the warlord has not been reduced to casualty. So you get like a last gasp attack with D6 hits. Now if you're armed with a Thunderhammer or something, and you go down in melee and you just make D6 hits with a Thunderhammer automatically, this would be a big deal. And then the Eye of Vigilance for the traitors. Oh man. Amongst the Iron Hands marked those who fought beside the War Master and earned his trust of the Great General. So this warlord trait may only be selected by a model with the traitor allegiance. A warlord with this trait and all models in any friendly unit that they've joined gain the preferred enemy loyalist special rule. In addition, once per battle, while the controlling player is the reactive player, the warlord in any unit the warlord is joined may make a single reaction without spending a point from your allotment, but only that unit can do it. And you can't make the same reaction twice. Silver Iron Will. So this is the one that anyone can take. A warlord with this trait and all models in any unit he has joined are never affected by any special rule effect that lowers a characteristic, including Fear X and Radphage special rule, and due to losing an assault where the enemy inflicted more wounds. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may not make reactions in the movement phase, but may make an additional reaction either one of the shooting or assault phases, but not both. If the warlord's moved as a casualty, you can't do it, but the army may make reactions in the movement phase as normal in any appropriate phases after he's dead. So you basically never make movement phase reactions, but in every other one, you get an extra one of your choice. And then Rights of War, you have access to 2 of them. So the first one is the Company of Bitter Iron. A detachment using this Right of War may make Medusan Immortal squads as troop choices, and then all models in that squad gain the Line subtype, and all models in the detachment using this Right of War with both the Legion of Strays Iron Hands and Bitter Duty special rule gain Hatred Traitors. And any models with the independent character and Legion of Strays Iron Hands special rules may be given the Bitter Duty special rule at no additional cost. So basically you can take as many Bitter Duty, like Despoiler squads or whatever you want. So after Istvaan V, basically you become like just completely like willing to use any methods at all. So all of your like rad weapons, all of your like super banned weapons basically get used by everybody, and you can mix and match those squads now with your characters because they all gain Bitter Duty. The limitation is you can only use an army that's loyalist, and you cannot have Ferrus Manus because he's dead at this point. So it's locked to after Istvaan V, after your father dies, and you're basically doing whatever it takes to fight the enemy. Now the Medusan Immortal squads are pretty good. These are the survivors. It's 9 immortals and an immortal sergeant, and these are they've sworn to like redeem themselves kind of guys. Power armor, boarding, shields, bolters, bolt pistols, frag grenades, and feel no pain 5+ Bitter Duty. You can take all kinds of extra things like Volkite chargers and chain swords on everybody, bayonets and chain bayonets. You're kind of like a super veteran squad. And then Right of War, the Head of the Gorgon. All models of the infantry units type in the detachment using this Right of War gain Stubborn while they're in their deployment zone. Any model with the infantry unit type with flamers can take them for graviton guns or graviton shredders for 15 points. Your Castellox Battle Auto Maniples may use maybe such as Elite's choices and gain It Will Not Die 5+ at no additional point cost, but they don't gain the Iron Hand special or any of its benefits. Any Iron Fathers or Legion Terminators may take a Cortex controller for 15 points, and any models with the vehicle unit type in a detachment gain Outflank at no additional cost. And then you have to see the Liber Mechanicum for those Thalax rolls, obviously. Detachment, you only get a single, limitations, 1 fast attack choice, and you may not attempt to seize the initiative because you're the heavy metal. All right, the Armory, the Iron Hands, so you can take an Iron Father, your Legion Praetors Cataphract, your Terrorist Praetors may become an Iron Father. You get the Battlesmith 3+, so you can fix things, and Feel No Pain 5+ special rule. And the Machinador Array and Cyber Familiar War Gear. An Iron Father may not select a Legion Warhawk Jump Pack, Spath the Combat Bike, or Scimitar Jet Bike. Your Blessed Auto Simulacra, any model with the vehicle unit type and the Legion of Astartes Iron Hand special rule can be upgraded to have the It Will Not Die 6+ special rule. And it goes to 5+. This will automatically be increased to 5+ because of the Medusan scales. So basically, you're getting all your hull points back on 5+ for 10 points. Madness! Your vehicles are so tough. Yeah, healing like... So if you have like a 6 hull point Spartan, or the Kratos, right? These things are getting like a hull point back every turn. So you're grinding away on it. And the worst part is the more close to dead it is, the more likely it is to get its hull points back because you're rolling more dice. And then Cyber Familiars, you can basically take it for 20 points. And its rolls are on page 141. So Cyber Familiar is like a Servo Skull or something like that. Or a little baby cherub. A model of Cyber Familiar adds +1 to its invulnerable save, or it gets an invulnerable save of 6+. So 3+ invulnerable save Iron Halos if you have a Cyber Familiar. So 20 points to have a 3+ invul on your Praetors. This is pretty great. Like I said, these guys take a punch like nobody's business. You get your Special Cataphractii Terminator armor at no additional point cost. It's a +2 armor save, 5+ invulnerable save, and feel no pain 5+. So you lose your 4+ invul, but you gain feel no pain. If this model has more than one variant of it. Additionally, at the end of any phase in which they passed at least one armor save or invulnerable save, roll a d6. On a 4+, all enemy units within one model within 6 of them count as if they've been hit by one with the blind special rule. Any unit composed entirely of models with Gorgon Terminator armor are immune to this effect. So basically, you're flashing out all your it's like a big conversion field. Graviton Shredders are basically gravity pistols. So they are assault 2, strength dash, because they're graviton pulse. And they are haywire and concussive 1. And then you can take a pistol 1 version for the graviton pistols. Armatus Necrotechnica. These are basically like a secret device that's, again, illegal, but Ferris dies and they start using all this stuff. Any one model with the vehicle unit type and an attachment with the Legion Astartes Iron Hands faction does not have the flyer subtype can have this for 50 points. Whenever a unit, friendly or enemy, with at least one model within 6 of a model with this vehicle subtype, with this upgrade, has one or more models removed as casualties, roll a d6 for each model removed as a casualty. On a result of 6, this model gains a hull point. It eats the dead. This may not bring it above the number of hull points listed on its army profile. In addition, any unit, friendly or enemy, with at least one model within 6 of a model with this reduces its leadership of all models by 1. Units with stubborn may not ignore this modifier. Basically, you're watching this vehicle eat dead bodies to get its hull points back, and it freaks out everybody, even if you're stubborn. Nobody wants to see that. All right, and probably the toughest core stat-lined Primarch, Ferrus Manus, 465 points. Movement 8, weapon skill 7, strength, toughness 7 instead of 6. 6 wounds, initiative 6, 6 attacks, leadership 10. He's armed with the Medusan Carapace. It's a 2+ armor save and 3+ invulnerable save base. He's got a servo arm, which gives him an extra attack, a Forge Breaker, which is his big hammer. It's strength 12, AP 1, melee, mastercrafted, exoshock, brutal 3. He is an absolute killing machine. He would easily kill other Primarchs. It's crazy that Fulgrim kills him because he's so incredibly tough and does 3 wounds per hit, which means 2 hits would usually kill a single Primarch. And then, of course, he's also got a mastercrafted Plasma Blaster, a Graviton Shredder, a Heavy Flamer, and a Grenade Launcher. He's just covered in guns. He's Battlesmith 2+, firing protocols 3, so he can shoot all of his guns. A Loyalist, and he's the Sire of the Iron Hands, which means all models with both the infantry unit type and the Legion Astartes Iron Hands special rule in the same army as this guy get Feel No Pain 6+. This does not stack with other versions of the same rule. And so it's basically just for the infantry because your vehicles are already getting it. All models with both the vehicle unit type and the Iron Hand special rule gain It Will Not Die 5+. In addition, an army with Ferrus Manus gains an additional reaction in the opposing player's assault phase as long as Ferrus Manus has not been removed as a casualty. So, yeah, your vehicles gain It Will Not Die 5+, which means you could stack that from Sire of the Iron Hands with, where is it? The Medusan Scales. And that will give it +1, so it would be a 4+, come back to life, 4+, It Will Not Die. And then you could also give it, where is it? Where's the extra one from? The Blessed Auto Simulacra. So you could buy it that for 10 more points, and then give it +1 to its thing. So a 3+ It Will Not Die, I guess. I mean, the Feel No Pain does not stack with other versions of the same special rule, but the It Will Not Die seems to. And you get extra reaction in the assault phase, and he's still alive. So a 3+ It Will Not Die on your vehicles? I can't see, I mean, there may be a reason why that doesn't work, but it doesn't say that that one doesn't stack, just that the Feel No Pain doesn't. So I'm guessing it does. It doesn't say it already incorporates the Medusan Scales either. Yeah. Just no big deal. Just getting all my hull points back on a 3+. So you basically have to kill all the vehicles in one go. If you don't kill a vehicle in one go, it just starts going back to life immediately. He's bananas. Ferrus Manus is so good. Like, if he was in the Siege of Terra, he'd just be killing Primarchs left and right. All right, Gorgon Terminator Squad's 200 points for 2 wound, 2 attack, leadership 8 Terminators. They've got combi weapons and Gorgon Terminator armor. So remember, even though it's infantry heavy, right, because it's cataphracti, it's a 5+ invul with Feel No Pain 5+. Power Axe, and then the leader's got a Thunderhammer and a Grenade Harness. Feel No Pain 5+, Relentless, Stubborn, Bulky 2. 5 or less models can take a Land Raider Proteus. And it does eat up a Force Org chart. 35 points each for more of them. Can take a Vexzilla, and any Gorgon Terminator can exchange his Power Axe for Power Fist, Chain Fist, or Lightning Claw. Take combi weapons instead of combi bolters, and for every 3 models in the unit, you can gain a Heavy Flamer, Reaper Autocannon, Plasma Blaster, or Graviton Gun. The Immortals we already went through. They're basically a souped-up veteran squad, and that's it. But with Feel No Pain 5+, because they're Bitter Duty. They can take a Las Cutter, which is kind of cool. It's slightly different, but then all the rest of it's kind of the same. Melt Bombs, Power Armor for Artificer Armor, and then all the special weapons for the Sergeant. So yeah, like I said, you want to take vehicles that quite simply will not die, and infantry with 5+ shrugs, and you know, some bitter, twisted Iron Hands who've basically suffered almost the most. I don't know. The Raven Guard have some tragedy that happens later on, but the Iron Hands basically stick it out to the end. Then this is the Legion for you. They're also super easy to paint. Black Power Armor, silver trim. They'd be quick and dirty to do. It's even more forgiving even than the Raven Guard, because the Raven Guard, it's all white accents, whereas here it's all metallics, right? So it's easy to put down metallics and give it a nice wash. And you'll have tons of like options for like cool like post-war stuff too, where you have like the integration of components for Mark V, because basically you're bodging together all kinds of components to try and make yourself work after the fall of Istvaan V. Some of the specialty units, obviously, like if you're going to take the Breachers, you're going to have to get some Forge World Brits, so the Immortals and the Gorgons are more Forge World kitty, and you don't have any special characters out of the gate, right? There's no like named characters, but you never know what's going to come out in the future. But of course, there are a plethora of new tank kits coming, so if you want to lead into tanks, this is probably Legion for you. So we'll be back with our next review, which is, of course, Dreadnoughts and stuff, Leviathans, with minus to wound. And some very cool miniatures. There's the Gorgon Terminator. There's your Spartan, right? And then all of the new plastics. There's a Tactical Legionnaire with a Cyber Familiar. We're back with the Ultramarines. The 13th Legion coming up next. So we'll see you for that review. And big thanks for watching. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good day. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continue to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.